This is the new Wildland hose roller. Today we're going to show you all of the components and how it works. So you have everything in the bag here ready to go. You're going to pull out the 4 arms. They're in the front slots. The next slot back is going to have the spindle that the arms go into. And in the rear pouch, you're going to have the main body of the roller, as well as the final drum to go on the roller. When you're ready to use your hose roller, the first thing we need to do is mount it to the front of the brush truck. So all of our Model 14s have a receiver mounted on the front bumper, and we have the receiver arm with 2 pins in it that will go into the receiver on the front. So the first thing that we want to do is take the first pin out that's in the extension arm, and we're going to slide that into the receiver. Once you have it set in there a little bit so it's somewhat secure, you can go ahead and pull the second pin, extend the main body out, assuring that your arm stays in the receiver. Once that's back, line up the holes in the back. And make sure that it's fixed in the receiver. Now you can pull the main body of the hose roller all the way out until you find the second hole and put the secondary pin in. It's got a keeper on there, lock it in place. Put the drum right there, and now you are ready to roll a donut roll. Alright, we have the hose roller set up to roll a donut roll. We're going to start by taking the tail of our hose. You take your main drum off, slide the end over the small pin, put the drum back on, grab your hose and go under the guide, and then have a secondary person hold a little bit of traction, not much, just a little, to make the roll nice and tight. The other thing we need to be aware of is that we want to roll in this direction here, counterclockwise. That way we make sure we protect our male end in the hose when we roll it. Once you come to the end of your hose roll, another way to help protect the male end as well as package the hose nicely is take your hose rubber, place it over the end of your hose, and then couple your hose back together, doing about 2 turns so you still allow the air to come out of the hose as you finish your roll. So once again, we're going to pull traction on that end while another person rolls it. I'm just going to bring it up and over and place the rubber on the hose. Now your secondary person can come over, grab the drum, and just pull the hose off. Slides off just like that, and you're ready to go. Now we're going to show you guys how to set up the hose roller so that way we can roll our packs. We're going to start by taking the drum off, placing it off to the side. We're going to come over here and grab our spindle and attach it to the main body. You're going to notice on here that you're going to have this hole right here, which is going to go into the secondary pin, and we have this bolt with a handle on it that threads right in to the big pin. The other thing that you need to be aware of is that this has spots for all 4 arms. The spot that is painted red is adjustable to allow that arm to come up and down so you can get your hose off once it's rolled. The others are fixed So it will not allow your arm to go any lower than it needs to be because our packs need to be packed at 48 inches. We're going to line it up. And thread it on. Make sure it's nice and tight, because if it's loose, it'll cause damage to those threads over time. We'll go ahead and take all of our arms. The big end needs to come towards the main body. Place them in. Like I said, this one is adjustable, so just put your finger underneath there, hold it in place, and then just lock the quick release, and then it's good. Going to continue on to the next 4 arms, and you can see they stop so they won't go any farther. Lock it into place. You may have to tighten them up a little bit just because of the way they were in the bag. Once you have all 4 arms in place, you're now ready to load the hose to roll it in the fashion it needs to be for the packs. So we're going to start by grabbing the male end. And we're going to place it on the arm. We are not going to put the inline T on yet because it just kind of bangs around and causes a bigger headache. So remember to put your T on at the end. We're going to do 1 revolution, making sure we keep that nice and tight on there. Okay, and once that's on there, you're now ready to continue rolling. One of the things we need to talk about is evacuating the air out of the hose. When you have older hose like this, you can run it out with a hose clamp, which we'll show you. However, if you have brand new hose, it's probably better to go ahead and roll that into a donut roll and then unroll it, clamping the end. That way you've got all the air out of there that you can. So what we're going to do is one guy's going to hold both arms like this, as a secondary guy grabs the handle part of the clamp and just kind of turns it out on an angle, either up or down. It doesn't really matter. And he's going to run the clamp all the way out to the end of the hose, and then clamp the hose and hold on to the female end. Once your partner has clamped the end of your hose, you're going to go ahead and take your hands off of the arms, come back to the handle, use your other hand to kind of help guide you, and he's just going to walk up with me as I roll this. Ensuring that you're staying off of those arms, it's rolling right where it needs to be. And you're going to have to play with this once you've done it a few times. You know, it'll roll quite a bit quicker. Now, once you have come to the end, you can go ahead and take your clamp off. Back over here. You want to make sure you find that red painted bar, and we're going to go ahead and release that bar. We're going to have to hold on to the female end as well as the male end, keeping it nice and tight, and then we can do our quick release, which will bring that arm down, and we can take the hose off. Now, one thing we need to make sure that we do is as soon as we take this off, we need to put it into the horseshoe fashion and put a rubber on it, so that way the air does not get back into the hose. We're going to take that off of there. We're going to walk it over to the ground. When you have your inline T, you put your inline T on at this point. Make your horseshoe fashion. Pinch it with your legs. Grab the rubber over your arms. Slide it onto your hose, and now you're ready to put it on your pack.